What's up guys, my name is Mangubat and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm excited to get a guest on the show. It's my business partner, Lawrence Resnick. We started our real estate team in 2017 where Lawrence was a top agent with Jordan Brody's team on Coldwell Banker, and I was the top agent with Antonio Attikin's team with Keller Williams. We joined forces, started Advanced Philly, and Lawrence is a GC who general contracted building 80 homes in the last 2 years, and behind me is his father's building. This is a 28 unit building with parking, close to a $9 million sellout. Yo, can I get a ride? Thanks, brother. Yo, Advanced Philly, baby. So Monty Resnick is the man, probably one of my favorite people in the city. Lawrence, how did Monty teach you to build your first house and get that going?
Yeah, it started when I was actually, I had my summers off and I would be a sweeper during the projects and just watching the guys and keep the site clean at all times. And I would always ask them a lot of questions because I was wondering what they were doing, what they were working on, and something intrigued me, I would always ask. And that went on for about 4 years of high school, so I didn't really think that any of that would end up amounting to anything. But then it came down to when I was building my own house and I really wanted to learn from the ground up what that meant. That's when all of those 4 years of just watching and asking questions that ended up starting to come back to me. And as we were going, it started becoming almost second nature that these things were happening, and I already knew how far the studs had to be apart, the rise and run of the steps, and all of those components that make up a home. It just really came together for me because he was subconsciously making me just watch and learn without even realizing it for 4 years.
So was this the first house that you GC'd yourself?
This was, I wouldn't say by myself. He definitely was involved because I didn't want to mess up, but I definitely was the most involved in this project at first, and I was up at 6 in the morning. I mean, this is when it all kind of started changing for me, and my routine started changing and my habits started coming into being like the early morning person and getting up and going, and I started realizing the value of what I could get done before anyone else started their day. I'd be here 6, 7 in the morning lining up. By 8, 9 o'clock, when everyone starts calling you, I'm already selling real estate, and I started doing sales. After I lined up the guys, I'd come check on them at lunch, and I'm still doing my work calls, and I was able to keep 2 things going at once.
So tell me about the house. What's the facade? Just give me a description. How many square feet? What are the finishes like?
Yeah, so the house is 2,600 square feet. It's got 4 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, so that's a full bathroom for every bedroom upstairs, 3 rooms, with the master suite on the top floor. And then there's outside of the master suite is a huge wet bar kitchenette and a powder room for the guests in the roof, so they don't have to go into the master bedroom. And then we decided to incorporate kind of an in-law suite in the basement where we added another full bathroom down there. Then as we were going, we kind of started incorporating cool features like these glass walls and steps. This was like a pretty cool engineering feat that we had to figure out how to do it because no one was doing this about 6 years ago in Philadelphia. So that was pretty interesting to figure out, and how we engineered the steel to support these steps and a load capacity of up to 1,000 pounds.
So you built this great house. It's pretty big. It's PreShared Value. What do the numbers on this house look like so someone that's looking to build their own house can evaluate a deal?
When we bought this, it was 5 years ago now, so the lot was $65,000. So that was a big factor right there. We probably, today's market would go for like $150,000 for the lot. There's value created just in the land alone and that appreciation, not to mention at that time of building the property, the house, we built it for about $200,000 or $250,000. So for $250,000, today's numbers, that would be about $300,000 to build today. So there's some value created there, which is actually nice because I get to now maybe spend that extra money into maintaining the home 5 years later and still be in line with today's market prices on cost.
So when you sell the house, you should make at least $250,000 tax-free because you've been living in it for 2 years.
Yeah, I've lived here for over 2 years now, so I meet that qualification. And after commissions were paid out and everything like that, I should walk away in the range of anywhere from 200 to 250, depending on how lucky we get on that number.
So Lawrence, you built 80 houses in the last 2 years. What would you say your biggest challenge was doing that and also doing real estate sales and putting deals together as a realtor?
Scaling to that kind of size that fast definitely has its drawbacks. I mean, it's good, a lot of learning experience. I got a lot of exposure to the boots on the ground and the people providing inventory. But the biggest challenge was that, the money is tied up a lot in other people's projects when you could be doing a lot of things with that money. So it's a very capital intensive business to run. So that is probably the biggest drawback I had when I was doing it. Probably could have seen some opportunities I would have been able to do otherwise while being drawn into all of that stuff with the projects.
So Lawrence, you have $250,000 of your own money tied up in your general contracting company, building homes for other people. Where do you see your business moving forward from there?
I have $250,000 tied up. I probably could even use more. The more I have, the better it would flow. But seeing the opportunity that are coming right now with the market taking a shift, now is a good time for me to take advantage of all the network I've made within all the neighborhoods and being around on the job sites so much that I'm able to facilitate a lot of really good value deals. So a lot of those deals that we've provided for our clients have come around from just being around the neighborhood. So I'm going to take that and divert it all into helping our clients.
What I love about that is Lawrence is now shifting his energy from being a builder to now being a realtor and a broker that's going to be finding deals for clients. I mean, I'd say in the last 2 years, just part-time, we've sourced 125 units for our developer clients, and now that Lawrence can just focus full-time on sourcing deals and finding opportunities for our developer clients, I see that number astronomically growing up, and we're just going to be able to find a lot more deals for our clients. So thanks for the tour of your crib. How did you scale your business from building one house for yourself, your dad's kind of helping you, to now you built 80 in the last year, 40 units a year?
Well, it started by sourcing a lot of the deals for people. After we found so many deals at the time when we started 8 years ago now, there was not many builders that were reliable, trustworthy, they would walk away with people's money, and there was a need for that. And I didn't really see it as necessarily a money-making opportunity at the moment. It was more of a need that our clients needed. So we filled that need, and the money and deals came from the commissions after and being exposed to a lot more other deals. And that was really just a tool to grow our business.
What advice would you give to a GC that just wants to be a GC that wants to go from 1 to 40? What piece of advice would you give them?
Take it slow. Don't go rushing into it. When I did rush into it, it ended up being a much harder path. Scale it, do 1, do 5, then do 10, 15, 20, and then, it's a much more easy to manage. A lot harder now, especially in today's environment with L&I, that you would want to take your time than to get into that, because then you'll get caught up on little things that aren't even related to building if you're doing that.
Lawrence, tell me about this deal. How do you find it? How do you build these 2,800 square foot homes, the design?
I found this actually through a church that was selling off a piece of their portfolio. It was actually a basketball court that they were not using anymore for a couple of years. So they decided to sell it to us, and I worked with the architect to draw up this design and kind of had a crazy idea that the investor was willing to try, and that's where we ended up with this crazy atrium.
How about the house? What's the square footage, finishes, bed, bathroom count? Unique finishes.
Yeah, 2,800 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Got the custom skylights that have remote control Bluetooth, opening screens. It's got wireless speakers wired throughout the house that are Bluetooth controlled. On the deck, in the master bedroom, in the main level where the kitchen is for the entertainment. It's got Nest thermostats throughout. It's going to be Alexa compatible. Pretty neat stuff. This is probably the most high-tech house we've done to date.
And probably like one of the best houses in Brewery Town, Philadelphia.
This might be the best house in probably all of Philadelphia right now. This size and this price point, you can't find anything like it. Throw it anywhere else. $2 million house.